Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Joliet Township Government's regular board meeting for Tuesday, October 10th, 2023. We're starting at 5:17 p.m. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a roll call for attendance, please?
Trustee Arias?
Here.
Trustee Escutia?
Here.
Trustee Slattery?
Here.
Supervisor Contreras?
Here. All right. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes for a regular town board meeting for September 12th, 2023.
I have a question. Are you missing your assessor?
Are you what?
Your tax assessor?
We're not gonna speak into the mic. So there are other members of it. First of all, we're not going to be addressing comments throughout the meeting, but you have a good question, and I won't address any more. But the assessor is with the Joliet Township, but he is not a member of the legislative body that's necessary to make quorum for a meeting. That's all.
Who are you?
You'll meet me very soon. My name is Brian Wellner. I'm the attorney for Joliet Township.
Are you supposed to arrange some questions and answers like that? Don't answer that.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular town board meeting of September 12th, 2023.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Slattery?
Aye.
Trustee Escutia?
Aye.
Trustee Arias?
Aye.
Supervisor Contreras?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Next item, approval for minutes for a public bid hearing for a contract for Road District 2023-03 on September 25th, 2023. Can I get a motion to approve those minutes, please?
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the public bid hearing for contract 2023-03 Road District on September 25th, 2023.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Slattery?
Aye.
Trustee Arias?
Aye.
Trustee Escutia?
Aye.
Supervisor Contreras?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brian Wellner. I'm the attorney for Joliet Township. Thank you all for attending tonight's meeting. The township understands that many of you are concerned with the grant application that was recently awarded to Joliet Township by the state of Illinois. And the township moved to this location because we welcome your comments, and the township appreciates the time that you took out of your evening to come here tonight to find out information and to provide us your feedback. The township wanted to ensure that there is sufficient parking and space for you all to hear. If at any point in time you can't hear, please let somebody know, raise a hand, let it be known, but also please be respectful that people are trying to listen around you, and that we are audio and visually recording this meeting, so we want to make sure that we have a clear recording so anyone that could not make it tonight can hear what happened this evening. One thing that I would like to note is that tonight's meeting has a specific agenda that has certain items that the township is allowed to take final action on. One thing that is not on the agenda tonight is any final action related to the asylum seeker grant. That's not what the
Be
meeting.
respectful.
That's not what tonight's meeting was designed for. It's a regular board
It's
meeting.
disrespectful that you do this and don't let us speak about it.
Well,
That's disrespect.
We're gonna speak. We're gonna speak. You're wrong.
while it's not on the agenda for final action by the township, we welcome all of your comments, and if every single person wants to make a comment about the grant, you are afforded that opportunity. I just don't want all of you to expect that there will be a final decision by the township tonight. if people are disruptive in the meeting, then they will be asked to leave the meeting. Please be respectful so everyone can hear tonight.
You can't make us leave.
Thank you.
You have to make everyone
I'd like to,
hear.
as the clerk,
Yes.
I'd like to make a statement, please. Again, we're gonna give people time to speak. I have a list of those that signed in to speak. We are excited to be here, to hear you, to hear what you have to say, because we value what you have to say. So those of you that spoke, that signed these sheets, I will be calling you in 5 at a time to make a line right here so that you can share your public comment. So we want to hear what the public, you are important and you matter, and we want to hear you. But we have to do it in an orderly and civil manner. Thank you. Last thing I want to say, I like to just kick off our meeting. I noticed that our city council kicks off their meeting with prayer. So I like to say, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me show love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. And it is in dying that we are born into eternal life. Thank you. Amen.
So the reason why I highlight that it's not on the agenda tonight is because I know that there were news reports and I know that there were Facebook posts that led all of you to believe that there may be action tonight, but there never was an agenda item for that. It still does not mean that you don't get the right to speak on it, you get the right to speak on it.
Why are you here?
Public comment will proceed, if you're not familiar, as follows.
Why do they need you?
You only speak during public comment, and each person that wishes to speak will absolutely have that opportunity. To help keep the order, we have the sign-up sheets at the entrance. However, once we exhaust everyone on that list, anyone that didn't sign up will still have the opportunity to speak on anything that you'd like to speak on related to township government, including the grant application that's been discussed in the press. Speakers are welcomed and encouraged to speak on behalf of a group if you're speaking on behalf of one, to ensure that everyone has enough time to be heard at tonight's meeting. You're also welcomed and encouraged to state that you support someone else's position. Everyone here understands that just because you're brief doesn't mean that you care less about an issue than someone that spoke longer on the issue. When you do come to the microphone for public comment, please state your name clearly, and if it's a tricky name, spell it, because our clerk is taking minutes and we want to make sure that your comments are accurately reported. Once you complete your comment, you'll be seated, and then you won't have a second opportunity to speak, but we will have other meetings, and there is contact information for the township's officials on the website. So if at any point in time you forgot something or want to supplement a comment, you're welcome to reach out to the township officials or to come to the next board meeting. The next regularly scheduled board meeting will be November 8th. If you have your comments should be directed at the township board generally. You should not be singling any person out. Public comment is your time to make a comment. It is not question and answer. If you have questions, you're certainly welcome to ask your questions, but there's not going to be a dialogue back and forth between the board and public commenters. Once public comment is closed, the township will proceed with the agenda, and they may address some things in the reports, but they are not here to answer every single question. At some time later, when there is a decision, I'm sure that the township will be making a press release about that. Last but not least, I ask that all of you be respectful to one another in this room. The township is not limiting your comments by time, but understand that there's a lot of people here. We want everyone to have an opportunity, so please be aware that everyone in this room may want to speak. That's all that I have. Thank you, Supervisor.
Well, good afternoon again, everyone. My name is Angel Contreras. I'm the Joliet Township Supervisor. It's always good to see a room full of residents ready to participate in the civic process. So thank you all for taking the time to be here today. As you all know, this is no ordinary meeting, as the township faces an extraordinary circumstances due to events beyond our control. I'll start by clarifying a bit about what the township does and does not do. We work every day to secure resources for people in Joliet, often from grants. We do not have any say in federal immigration policy. When confronted with the crisis, we are limited by advocating for distributing emergency resources as they become available. The inclusion of the City of Joliet and Joliet Fire Department logos on the application was an oversight. However, both institutions were involved about the grant opportunity in a meeting which took place at City Hall. And that has been documented both by the City of Joliet in their press release, on their website. We're acknowledging that that did happen. Let me be clear about this situation we're facing. A lack of federal leadership on this issue has resulted in asylum seekers reaching our borders that are being bused by the thousands to cities for a political stunt to create chaos and attention. These buses are dropping people off in the middle of the night without notice to local officials in Chicago. Has been a major vocal point about this campaign. As many as 1,500 asylum seekers show up every day, overwhelming social service providers and straining community resources across the board. This is already happening around here. We have already seen a large influx of asylum seekers in our area. The Spanish Community Center has already documented at least 2,200 people seeking assistance through their organization since last year. Similarly, Will Grundy Medical Center has seen an increase in demand for their services, and local food pantries have been under strain. The purpose of this grant was to help our community partners who serve individuals beyond the township, county, and city boundaries keep up with not only the people new they're seeing, but their existing residents. As of today, Joliet Township has not accepted the $8.6 million grant. Nothing has been finalized, and we are here to listen to your concerns. Any future plans will be brought to all members of elected bodies and open discussion and public input. The Joliet City Manager again first brought this opportunity to my attention in the meeting on August 9th, and then the City Manager was not there at that meeting, but we did have a meeting with some city employees, with Will Grundy Medical, Joliet Township Government, myself, and Spanish Community Center on September 1st at City Hall. So then the grant was quickly submitted on September 15th, and then we received official notice that we were awarded on October 2nd. The grant again was intended to benefit many local agencies who are currently inundated with asylum seekers, so that may increase their service to accommodate our existing residents and those struggling with the cost of living increases. This is a reactive request grant to address current issues. It was not intended to bring more people into our areas. I would like to ask to everyone, actually the Joliet community, to find solutions also for the current problems facing our most vulnerable members in our community today. I hear the concerns of my neighbors and friends over this issue, and folks have reached out to me directly on social media posts and making statements in the press. I can promise you today that our office is going to continue to tirelessly connect the entire existing community around the township with all available resources and address their emergency housing, healthcare, food, and security needs that we have already done for all our residents, as we already do. Finally, as I mentioned earlier, we are considering all options. We welcome your comments tonight, and I assure you the town board will take them into consideration as we decide how to move forward to amend or withdraw the grant application. So with that, I ask that you all please do not dehumanize each other. Do not dehumanize anyone. We're all children of God, so please voice your concerns respectfully. And now the floor is open for public comments. Our clerk Morales will address 5 names at a time. Please be respectful.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Supervisor Contreras. First person that signed up is Brian Beck. If you can come to the podium, and then the following 4, if you can get in line behind him. I have Steve Deaton. Can you guys please be quiet? Hey, we are trying to run a civil meeting here, so please control yourself. Thank you. Hold on, I'm not finished, sir. Second person, Steve Deaton. Steve Deaton, can you please get in line? And also Reverend Larry Ellis. And the fifth person, Mr. Lee Johnson. And be respectful and civil. If you're not, you are welcome to leave.
First of all, I don't appreciate blasphemy from you.
Take your mask off.
Talking about a child of God does not endear me to you. If you want to come up with solutions on how we can move these people out of here. We have enough problems, and that's clear by the condition of the roads in this city. How much do we pay you? How much do your masters, these people, pay you? Do you live here? Do you live here?
This is not a question answer.
I asked if this man lives in this city, that he's making decisions for the citizenry
This is
about.
not a question answer, sir. Say what you have to say and move on.
I
Thank
say
you.
he doesn't have the guts to answer me, because even if he does have a house here, I bet he can go somewhere else with the money that we pay him.
You
We
have
pay
to-
him.
If you knew the
I'm your
township
master
government-
too, and so are these
If you knew
people.
township government works, you would know
Hell
how to
with
live
you,
in this
man.
township.
This is
Absolutely
my
in this
shit.
township.
This
Thank
is
you.
their shit.
Thank you. Next one. Mr. Deaton, can you say your name for the record and your address, please?
Steve Deaton. My
Address?
address,
Yes, sir.
1504 Catherine Street. And first of all, to set the record straight on what the township's duties are. The township, you guys are to come here and sit at that table with your mouth shut, and these people are to come here and join together as township citizens and tell you what they want done in this community, not for you to dictate to us what's best for us. And if anybody has been paying attention to the TV, we've got Palestinians marching in Chicago, we've got Palestinians marching in New York, we've got unrest in the streets. When my ancestors came here, they spent 30 days in quarantine to make sure there were no diseases brought into this country. There was a reason. There was a reason for that. And you have all gone out of your bounds to invite these people here. We have no vetting at the border. They give them a card with $2,000 on it, ship them anywhere they want to go, give them a cell phone that's paid with our taxpayer money, and you have no right to dictate where our tax dollars go. Your job is to come here and listen to what this community needs, listen to what our ideas are, and you're supposed to implement them. You're not there to decide what is best for these people in this community. And we're tired of it. And we're tired of three-time felons bending down to their knees for rich politicians like Governor Pritzker on Springfield. That's the problem. The problem is we got a table full of 5 politicians and no community leaders, and that goes up to the side wall back over here, too. I yield my time.
Thank you, Mr. Deaton. We heard you. Next, state your name, please, and your address.
1522 Catherine. Steve's my neighbor. We came here together. Why? Why did I come home early a day for my 33rd anniversary to hear this crap and discuss what my neighbor, what we're gonna do with the problems in the neighborhood? It pains my heart. You know, this is a goddamn good guy. There was our governor, Banana Joe Babbage. Hell of a guy. He talked to people. If you claim you don't know anything about this, why did we already purchase that friggin' Peter Clavers Center? You already got it in the works. You know, and if it's in the works, usually when I have a lawyer, well, lately you need a lawyer next to you, huh? Hey, I usually, if it's in the works, Mr. Slater, you've been around a long time. Is it the norm to have a legal counsel present all the time? It is the norm to have one at every meeting. Oh, okay. Usually when I bring a lawyer, I'm in trouble. So I'm gonna let it go before my big mouth gets me in more trouble.
Reverend Larry Ellis, St. Mark Church. My question this evening is, when this decision was made, where was the representation for the very communities that this is going to affect? We are directly affect the east side of Joliet and the south side of Joliet in the impoverished areas. So why was there not any representation for that? I think we were misled about the Peter Claver Center, about exactly what that was for. It was supposed to be, and my understanding is it was supposed to be for community outreach programs. The whisper in the neighborhood is that it was gonna be asylum seekers stop off for them coming in to Joliet first. And as I said, what my question is, I'm upset, I'm pissed off, simply because we have not been told anything. First of all, we weren't told about the grant. Second, we weren't told about who was coming into our neighborhoods. And as I said, I think that's disgraceful. So I yield.
Hello, my name is Lee Johnson. I'm at 911 Stonegate in Joliet. Thank each of you for your willingness to serve and for giving us the opportunity to say what's on our minds. Americans for hundreds of years have believed the government derives its just powers from the government. The one thing that I have to say is we have not consented to what is going on here. Citizens have not given us consent to efforts of settlement of foreign nationals in Joliet whose immigration status isn't clearly legal. If what we read in Herald News is accurate, then the township supervisor or trustees, mostly on their own, have purchased property for Welcome Center and solicited tax money. We pay these taxes, okay? It appears the township trustees did not vote on this. It appears Joliet's mayor and city council were not effectively included in this. We citizens pay taxes for welcome centers, if there is a welcome center, in public services for foreign nationals coming into our country. This is our township, and we wish to be included and give our consent if something is appropriate. We watch on TV news and see big cities dealing with problems resulting from busing foreign nationals in from our southern border. And we oppose establishing welcome centers like this in our township, in our city, Joliet. We citizens call for upholding the law and keeping our township safe and prosperous. Please take this into account in further action. Thank you.
The next 5 speakers I have listed as Dennis Cesario, Greg Lawrenson, Mark Singleberry. Thank you. Kevin Martins. Thank you. And then Diana Dobchak. So if you can please make your way to the podium, we'd love to hear your comments. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
My name is Dennis Cesario. I live at Center and Ross, and I'm not here for what we've been talking about. I'm here for the people who are citizens of the United States and the children that cross that corner. I'm looking for 2 stop signs on Center. I have a deep love for children, being a grandfather of 6. There's been 31 vehicle accidents since November 2021 at this intersection of Center and Ross. Hoorah! Hoorah! 4 individuals have been hospitalized. Numerous accounts of speeding down both streets, going straight through the stop sign. I personally have witnessed lots of these accidents, running away from vehicles coming down from Center. One woman running out of her shoe to get away from a speeding vehicle going northbound on Center.
It's a city issue.
And the children and the children going across, trying to cross from Ross, trying to cross Center, it's being impossible. It's very impossible. This is my 7th attempt. I've even tried to, I went down to Springfield. I talked to everybody I can to try to get 2 stop signs and flashing lights on Center.
$8 billion can buy a lot of stuff.
Can you keep quiet, officer? Can you escort this man out as you continue? Thank you.
All it will take is one child to be killed, and I think Joliet will get the stop signs down there, but I don't want to see that happen. We need the 2 stop signs on Center with the 2 flashing lights. And that's all I have to say.
Hello, my name is Greg Lawrenson, Lawrenson. I live at 804 Hollow Glen here in Joliet. I would like to just simply say to you, you said our support systems are strained. I don't doubt that. But those systems are meant for these people. They're not meant for foreigners from another country. These people are not citizens. They've never paid into the system. They come here seeking. I know you have federal deals to deal with. You have state issues to deal with. Illinois has lost population every year for almost 20 years because of the way the state's being run. They're not listening to the citizens. They're simply going with an agenda. That's a narrative that's being pushed at a federal level. What we want from you, we can meet and talk about how we can make those resources better for our citizens in this town. Because these are my fellow Americans. Those people are not. What I want to give them is a ticket home. Buy them an airplane ticket and send them back to their country of origin.
Wow, how do you follow that?
Fix the mic up.
My name is Mark Singletary. I live at 611 Bevan Drive, Joliet. I was kind of excited when I heard that close to $10 million grant going to come into the city of Joliet. Say, for instance, that's additional 500 immigrants coming into the city. Head of household, that's about $2,000 per head of household. If you extrapolate a little more, and it's the nuclear family, it's going to be on an average of three people to the head of household. So you're looking at an additional 15,000 people coming into the city, where our population per 2021 census was 150,000. Right now, our roads can't handle the situation as it is. The hospitals are overwhelmed. The police force is overwhelmed. The fire department's overwhelmed, and we're going to be, with this grant, bringing an additional 15,000 people plus into the city. All these people are not good people. And you can look at Wikipedia and look at and take it for what it's for. The Mario boat lift that happened in Cuba in 1980. The dates were from April 15th to October 31st, 1980. On average, Miami got 125,000 immigrants. And if you look at notable people that were in there, yes, there were some great people. Jazz singers, artists, but there was pedophiles. There was serial killers. There was rapists. There was murderers. Who's going to pay for this additional cost to, root these people out of the system? They're not being vetted. They're not being vetted. We're not even talking about the disease that's coming with. The first gentleman talked about it. They're not U.S. citizens. I know we can't make an internment camp, but it's not going to be pretty. The average taxpayer, I want to see a hand. Who all here lives in Joliet? Raise your hand.
Right here.
There's over 400 people in here right now. Right now that pay on average $5,000 a year in property taxes. Look at that. That number extrapolated, 5,000 times 400 is over $2 million in 1 year. So what's going to happen is when the crime starts to go up, one of two things is going to happen. The people are either going to leave, because I'm done, I want to leave Illinois, I don't want this anymore. The other thing that's going to happen, and I do not condone violence. I do not condone violence. My father was a World War II vet. I always ask them about the war. There's a lot of vets in here, I can tell and see them. Thank you for your service. What my father always said to me, because he never talked to about it, this one time, he said, we took care of the situation. And I'm not condoning vigilantism, but when people are pushed to their limits, they're gonna do what they have to do so that their family comes first. The city of Joliet is known as the city of champions. I don't want it to become known as the city of chumps. Please do not vote for this or bring this money here. Thank you.
Thank you. Everything you said is 100% correct. My name is Diana Dobchik. I live at 1717 Maple Road. I am 61 years old. I am a lifelong Eastside Joliet resident. Aside from this asylum, I've called your office. As you know, we live across the street, kitty corner from Hilltop Drive-In. I've made many of complaints of the Hispanic community that goes there. I'm not opposed to it. 11, 12 o'clock at night, my windows are vibrating. You seem to do nothing about it. I've called you, I've talked to you, I've talked to your father, I've talked to all the people that are involved in that own that property, and nothing has been done. And it's not just the legal immigrants that are there, it's the illegals, and they are leaving their trash, they're leaving their beer cans, their needles, everything on my front lawn. So if you think you want to bring them here, and it's going to be all peachy and rosy for the city of Joliet and Joliet Township, it is not. Because I am a tax-paying citizen, and you're not helping me. But you want to help people that are not helping this community. My husband works hard, I work hard. We try to keep things involved with everything that's going on here. You have this position, and I didn't see it on a ballot. I didn't see it on a referendum. I didn't even see anything until the Patch posted something about it. How does the Patch know things before tax-paying citizens know things? You work for us, like that gentleman said. I am going to be on you now, because this is not working for us.
Steve Kemnitz, 1714 Kelly Avenue. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your comments. It's going to be hard to beat that. I realize this ain't a question and answer thing, so I'm just going to give y'all the answer. This is the answer, okay? For one, okay, what we have here is very unconstitutional to begin with, okay? They shouldn't be here, okay? And you can't sit there and say, do as we say, not as we do. No, we're not going to do as you say, okay? For one, I think maybe I'll try to get your job, okay? Because you are not a true American then. All right? Have you ever picked up a rifle and serve your country? Have you? Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you what. I lost many brothers, and I'll tell you what right now. And I know for a fact they're rolling in their graves. And you people sitting down here, right here, I don't. What is it? What is the whole? I'm not prejudiced because I hate everybody equally. You got to earn my respect. I'm going to ask you something. Are all you? You're all Hispanic. There's one white guy. So what? Who's going to pay for all this stuff down the road? We're kicking the can down the road, like the one lady said about the property taxes. Okay, my property taxes go up and up and up every year. Okay, and then I got on some of you government officials, and yours are going down. And you know what? I'll post the stuff. I got, I'm self-employed. I got plenty of time to FOIA. I pay $100 a month to check you people out. And I'm gonna be on you. And I'm gonna say this one final time. This is unconstitutional. You need to be sued. Okay? You need to be sued. And you people, you need to start voting Republican. This whole township needs to vote. Okay? We're a part of it. The steel plant's closed down. I've been self-employed for 36 years in this town. I built a ton of homes, and I'll tell you what, I pay my taxes. It'll be fine and dandy if they all come here, give them a tax ID number, and I personally want to see they pay their taxes. I don't want to pay them. They don't want to pay them. They don't want to pay them.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Can I have Katie Dean Schmaltman come to the podium, and I'm going to name the other four. Greg Dobchek. Is Katie Dean Schmaltman here?
No, my name's Kevin Martin.
Come on in. You're next in the list. Can you let her speak, sir? She's next. Sir, she's next. The lady behind you. Okay, Katie. Greg. If Greg can get in line, and then Greg Bobchek, Julie Berkowitz.
I'm her, right?
No, let me finish, please. Julie Berkowitz, and then Caleb Gossman, or Goosen, and then Tina McElrath.
McGrath.
Thank you. So those are what next that signed up on our list. Thank you. Thank you, Katie. The floor is yours.
Okay. Sir, what's your name? That was in the back.
Sir, what was your name?
Kevin Martin.
Did we call him?
Kevin Martin.
I think he was called. Yeah.
Okay, then Kevin, yeah, I thought you were one of, then somebody spoke out of line before you.
A lot of individuals are giving their address. You do not need to give your address.
Thank you.
Are you bored today? Is that why you're here? Y'all are bored. Contreras, you. Why the hell would you put the mayor's name on something to the governor's office? Ain't that legal? You know, what are you thinking? You need to tell the governor or the mayor of Joliet that, oh, you signed off? Who elected you anyways? Because I should have held that vote for.
The elections are rigged.
Say what?
The elections are rigged. It creates the illusion you have a choice.
Just hold on, we ain't getting into that just right now. Why y'all look so bored? You know, like y'all stunned. Like we're all here like, oh, why are we here? Because you all suck.
Sir, get your comments.
Whatever. Hey, listen.
Thank you.
My family ran this damn county. The Goulds, the Morrises. My aunt was the county clerk. I had numerous judges and uncles and aunts and Lord, whatever. You guys look like a bunch of freaking clowns. Get out of here.
Thank you, Katie. You have things.
Hi, my name is Katie Dean Schlottman, and full disclosure, I am a member of the Will County Board. And I have to tell you, as a member of the Will County Board, I speak for myself and Chair Gallo, and I can say we are concerned with the population of our own unhoused families in Will County. It is unacceptable to me that you would be putting the needs of others over our own citizens in Will County.
Yeah. You don't care?
To the point where I want to say as well, to all those who served our great country in this room, all the veterans, I myself am an Air Force veteran. I am happy to be part of your group. We took an oath to serve our country, and when I stopped that oath, I decided to serve my community again.
Amen.
And it is our job to protect taxpayers.
Amen.
Right. People cannot take us raising taxes anymore and using our tax dollars to provide for people who aren't paying into that system. When you go out and apply for a grant from the governor's office or from the city, because the city of Chicago, which declared themselves a sanctuary city, Joliet did not. Unfortunately, should not be because the city made a bad choice. So the audacity of this township to think that you are going to take a grant which will strain the other entities around you. I sat in public safety and public health today, and public health is concerned that with an influx of people, we are going to have a strain on ourselves. We have a strain already from our own citizens. So it is up to you to decide who you want to serve, yourselves or the citizens. Another concern I have is the grant that was written for this. That grant was written by Christy McNichols. Was she part of the grant writing? She also was part of the grant writing for the VAC. And there was money mismanaged there, to the point where she got to the VAC. And that money, $495,000, couldn't be accounted for. That was a problem. Also, the Copperfield building, that needs to go to our vets. I will fight for no votes for that. That is not something that should go to people who are not residents. It should go to, you can roll your eyes at me all you want, but I would like to just like. So at the end of the day, again, I ask you to think about who you serve and who you want to serve. Because I know who I serve. That's all.
Look at what the cops gotta go through now!
I just wanted to say that I was raised to believe that you work for what you get and you get what you work for. We're all, there's not too many kids around here and everybody here has put in their time and more. And I know that we have a hard enough time taking care of our own problems, and I don't know if you guys drive around Joliet and see all the people on the corners, it's sad. You know, you don't know who's waiting because you want to give and you want to help. But the problem is everybody's used to getting everything for nothing, and allowing you to try and give. And I just know that my personal opinion is, I don't believe you're fixing a problem, you're creating one.
Right.
And as far as money goes, it always seems to go the only places where it's really supposed to go. And when the money's gone, these people aren't coming here to visit, they're coming here to stay. So when your money runs out, then who pays and takes care of it? Then we're having a hard enough time to survive in this world as it is.
That's right.
We're not prejudiced and we're not trying to deprive anybody of anything. We're just trying to look out for the people that are from here first. And we're not helping the others. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Julie Berkowitz, and I am also a Will County Board and Forest Reserve Commissioner. I represent all the residents in Will County, north, south, east, or west. I came across a contract, a Garda World contract, on September 27th that was published on a government website that stated that Will County would provide services to these refugees. I reached out to our county executive to say, why are we on a contract? Go to page 118 and see that this contract states that we will be providing services, tent cities, and all other types of things. This contract was not for residents who are here now. It was not. You made a reference that it was. These monies are not going to go to those people. They're going to go to the people who will be sent to us apparently on buses. We had no voice in that contract, and apparently our county executive says she didn't know anything about that either. On September 27th, I don't think she reached out to Governor Pritzker to say, hey, why is Will County on a contract, a signed contract? And not only are we on page 118, but when you continue to read that contract, there are multiple other layers of service that they continue to reference Will County and a number of other counties as service providers.
Who signed it?
Who signed it? It's between the state of Illinois and the grant applicant, which is Joliet Township. And it is out there, it is a public document.
Illegal.
It's Garda World, they provide emergency, Garda World. So, but I'm here to speak for the people. Here, at the county, we are responsible for the public safety and the welfare of our residents and our businesses. People who call this Joliet and the Will County areas home. We're also responsible to our businesses. We have all of our units coming to us and asking for help. We have our tuberculosis, Sunny Hill Tuberculosis Clinic, asking for help. Guess what? Tuberculosis is rising.
I wonder why.
They have a 10% increase in cases and a 14% increase in mortality, and that's only on the cases they can find.
I wonder why.
These people are coming into our country and they are not vetted. They are not tested for these types of diseases that kill our population. And I know because my grandfather died of tuberculosis. He was in the Philippines and they refused to let him enter this country because he was sick, and our government's responsibility was to protect our people.
Amen.
And they did that. So we have our sheriff's department, law and order. We are a nation of law and order.
Not anymore.
And they don't have enough resources.
Cops' hands are tied. Can't do nothing.
We have our Will County's VAC. They're there for our veterans who serve our country, serve our Constitution, protect the rights that we take for granted, the right to assemble and speak freely like we are doing now. They are the reason we are standing here today. And they continue. And thank you to all the stand up if you're a veteran. If you're a veteran, please stand up. Thank you very much. Please next. We have other parts of county government that also need more resources. We get our resources from the taxpayer. Our taxpayers are reaching out to us and they're saying we cannot sustain any more. We're hurting. We're working. We're paying our taxes. We can't do any more. And I will close. There's other ways where we're trying to address these issues on a county level. We're tired at the county of having Springfield go above us, above the citizens, our voice, eliminating our voice, and pretending like we don't exist.
Yeah, do as we say, not as we do.
Now I'm going to speak as a resident. People in my community, my family, the Filipino community, we all know a lot of Filipinos. They're doctors, they're nurses, they're in medicine. They're all asking me why they came here legally. Many of them waited years to go through the process. They had to have financial support. They went through the motions. And they did it because they appreciated and they realized that they had a commitment when they came here. They become Americans.
Amen.
And they're asking me, why? Why is this happening? It's an insult to them. And as an elected official and a citizen, we need to respect the law. So I would ask you, as a county official, retract this grant. We are not prepared.
Well, we're going after
take
your
care
bond.
of our own. We have issues here. We need to strengthen our foundation. We have a lot of work to do.
Thank you. Thank you for coming forward. We have Mr. Caleb, thank you so much.
Caleb Golson is my name. You need me to spell it?
Yes, please.
Yeah, last name is Goossen.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have questions as a resident as well. Some of it maybe is not understanding. I hear what you're saying, and for me, I came here more with questions than I did with already formed opinions. And so, to me, it seems like when I speak to you, when I hear you speaking, that the money is intended to come in to deal with a situation that we've already been dealing with for years. And so if that's the case, and the feeling I get from what I'm hearing is that there's already a lot of stress on our different agencies in the community that are not only dealing with asylum situations, but other departments as well, fire department, police department, those kinds of things. Is this money intended to help relieve some of that? It sounds like, when I hear you speaking, that's what it sounds like. It's intended to bring relief to our community because of a situation that was imposed by us on the federal level. It's not something we had a part in making happen. It's a situation that's happening in Joliet. It sounds like you're trying to provide some relief. So it sounds well intended when I hear you speaking. So I guess that's the question. In what ways is that meant to bring relief? It sounds like maybe somebody had read there's some ways that that's spelled out already. But that would be a question that would provide, I think, a lot of clarification for people like myself who have these kinds of questions. And to me, that sounds like a great thing. If that's what it is, it's meant to bring relief to Joliet. If that's what it is for a situation that we already have, it sounds like it's also, is there a way to bless the people that we are helping? That's another question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Next person, Tina McGrath.
So, as I sit here and I look at all your faces, I know how difficult this must be for you to sit here, and I wanted to come out guns blazing like some of the others. I don't want to do that. I respect your office, and these people are here because number one, they're scared. They have no idea what's going on. There was no transparency. They don't hate you. They're tired of being lied to. Yeah, we do. Level of government. We're told that crime is down, that inflation is down, that the border is closed. It's all lies. So when we find out something like this, it's dropped on a Friday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we read about it in the patch, it makes people wonder, what the heck is going on? I know your intentions were good, but the path to hell is paved with good intentions, and we all know that. So, the devil is in the details. Part of this grant, that some of you may have missed, this $8.6 million is part of that is going to be used to hire 17 new staff. 17 staff who are entitled to full benefits plus pensions.
Yep.
Pensions. How long will this take? How long is this magical $8.6 million supposed to last?
How much to you, Angel?
Here's a piece that I honed in on that I think everybody needs to know this, especially in light of what we've just witnessed in the Middle East. The Wilson Center staff will undergo training to inclusively and sensitively provide coordinated care, case management, and assessment for individuals and families identified as asylum seekers. Here's part of the training for the staff working with them. Comprehensive overview of immigration law, disrupting deportation, how to effectively vacate your non-citizens' criminal convictions for immigration purposes. Are you kidding me? Come on! So you're going to be helping to hide the criminal history of asylum seekers and then dumping them in our neighborhoods. No, these people deserve more than that. We pay our taxes, we are good citizens, we want to raise our children in safe places. You owe us better than that. At least you owe us an opportunity to tell you to withdraw this grant. These people, just want to live in peace. We don't want to be here. We want to be home with our families. But we're forced to be here. And we will continue to be here. It is time to take your government back, folks.
I got here late and couldn't sign up, so I'm just gonna cut mine. I don't need my government's permission or blessing to speak.
I'd like to call the rest of the five before you speak so they can make their way down to the podium. Jen Monson, if Jen Monson can please come on. Officer, I need help here. Thank you. Second person to the podium. Second person to the podium. Sir, be respectful. Cindy
Do that when you do that to your taxpayers.
We are. Cindy Niemeyer, Ruth Slattery, Queen Carol, Kiana Carol, and Felipe Francini is the fifth person. So if I can have those five to the podium, I'd appreciate that. Is this Jen? Go ahead, ma'am. You have the floor.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Jen Monson.
Hi, Jen.
My name is Jen Monson. I'm a member of Shorewood, but my roots are in Joliet. I was brought home from the hospital to Little House on Benton Street. I'm actually here to represent a family member who lives on Cass Street and has lived there since 1953. And just a side note, she came on the boat all by herself, pregnant with my mom from Italy, the legal way.
Yes.
There has been an ongoing homeless problem in this area. There are constant disturbances causing police and fire to be dispatched to the area. This past summer, police and fire were dispatched to the residence of my family member because they set their front yard on fire. The homeless people set her yard on fire. So, and it came close to the house, but luckily a neighbor was out and saw it happen and was able to alert the authorities. The homeless citizens have also excavated the foundation of the bridge to create a shelter. So if you drive over the Cass Street Bridge, just know that there's a big hole underneath it because it's been excavated. Let's see. Police and fire and township have told my family member that there's nothing that can be done. Sorry, there's nothing we can do about these people who basically live in your front yard, come to your house and take your water without your permission, set your yard on fire. There's nothing we can do. My point in sharing this is if Joliet Township is unable or unwilling to help the homeless citizens within the boundaries of the township, how willing will you be to actually help with the influx of non-citizens? Also, the massive influx of high-needs people will cause a strain on not only Joliet, but the surrounding communities. And I cannot believe that I am standing here before elected officials, petitioning you to follow the rule of law, to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America, and to represent the citizens you were elected to serve. And I'd like to leave with one question. How much money is going into your pocket?
Cindy's next. I'm sorry? Can you okay. Are you okay, Miss, with that? Okay, Mr. Francini, go ahead.
Oh, wasn't right with the other guy.
Lift the mic up. I'm here to thank the members of the board for their work they do. There's a lot of fear mongering about what's going on. It's my first board meeting ever. Don't be sad. You guys are trying to do what's in your hearts. There's a lot of people here that look at your color, your skin, especially with you and Joel. I've never met you before. Bullshit! And I've been reading a lot of social media, especially Shorewood, Plainfield, Crest Hill, and when they talked about putting affordable housing at the mall, right away, you saw these kind of people come up and, oh, we don't want those people moving from the city or from out of Joliet.
You pay for it.
Yeah, I pay for it. I've been here 50 years. I've been a productive citizen. I raised 4 children. I put them through college. Most of their time going to private schools. My family combined had more than 500 years in Joliet.
You did it legally.
No, a lot of us were jumped by the border. We didn't jump the border.
Jump back.
Okay? The Indians were here, and a lot of you guys came. You guys are lucky they didn't tell you where you guys came. You never asked if you could stay. A lot of these people, then give them a chance to be a part of your community. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised.
Yeah, Cindy.
Could you spell your last name, please?
N-I-E-E-R-E-R.
Thank you.
I have some questions. Was this grant brought before the board?
Talking to the mic. Mike.
Was this grant brought before the board and voted on by the board before the grant application was made? If so, what board meeting was that done at? Will the township, will Joliet Township be offering general assistance and emergency assistance to the asylum seekers? Which is paid by taxpayers' money, in case you folks don't know that. Will Joliet Township be providing housing for the asylum seekers? If so, how long of a period do you plan on housing the asylum seekers? 30 days, 60 days, indefinitely? What's the plan out there? Is it in writing somewhere what your plan is? Where will you be housing the asylum seekers? In the paper stated you would not state that. Why not? What's being hidden? Why will you not state that?
His father's apartment.
How much of this grant is budgeted for the housing? In the newspaper, you were quoted stating that it was budgeted at $9 million. Obviously, your grant is only 8.6. And this isn't accounting for all the other avenues that you put out for the budget. And what is your plan for housing costs when you run out of grant money? Where's that going to come from? Because you're going to run out. If you've already budgeted $9 million, your grant's only 8.6. You're already in a deficit. So where's that money going to come from? It's a question that the taxpayers need to know.
They don't care.
My suggestion is do FOIA requests to the Joliet Township. Do the FOIA requests. Find out, because these are legitimate questions that the local residents and the surrounding communities deserve to know. It not only affects Joliet, the city of Joliet, Joliet Township, it affects everybody. All of the services throughout these other townships and other cities are going to be affected by this. So what is the plan? Is there a written plan? If so, when was it made? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mayor. Ms. Ruth Ryder? Is Ruth here? Ruth? Okay. So we'll move on to Ms. Kiara.
My name is Kiana.
Can you spell your name, please?
Queen Kiana is my stage name. Quenquiana. My family name is Mackenzie.
Thank you.
I'm here today because I'm taking this mic off, okay? I had a conversation with Mr. Angel. That was me that called you the other day, okay? And I called you to talk to you about the fact that the home that I live in is the home that my grandparents have owned for over 65 years. And the property adjacent to that, and the property behind it. That has now been given to asylum seekers from Colombia. I called you to ask you what you were going to do about it. And your main concern was why City Hall gave me your phone number. I called to tell you that as a taxpayer, a paraprofessional, I work in a medical facility, okay? And last week, we had an influx of people coming in who work for the aviation and the police departments in Cook County there's an outflux of diarrhea from the employees at O'Hare Airport. And there are immigrants all over O'Hare Airport. But that's not why I called you. I called you to find out what I could do about the fact that these people are living adjacent to me, the property that my family sold. They have completely destroyed the property. I'm calling the police 2 or 3 times a night because they're partying and shooting cocaine. And their back porch is adjacent to my bedroom window. And I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to men in my backyard. And I look out the window and they back there snorting cocaine and talking on it. And that's what's gonna happen is y'all gonna be scooping Colombians up off of my backyard. Because that's what comes next. We don't want this. For 65 years now, my grandparents were there. My family has been on this property. We've never had any problems. The people who live upstairs, the other immigrants who live upstairs, park in front of my driveway. They just park in front of my driveway. And when I go to ask them to move, all of a sudden my tires are flattened. I have video from the neighbors across the street of the immigrants partying on my blacktop while I'm at work and the little girl riding her bike up and down my driveway. And when I asked the officer to tell them not to impede and cross over the property line, you know what he told me? You have to get signs that say no trespassing. Well, what sense does that make if they don't speak English? Do I gotta go get Spanish ones? The point is we don't want this. We don't want this. We don't want this. And my position to you is after listening to all of these people who are here to tell you that we don't want it, and if you go ahead and still do it, you will not be elected again.
That's right!
Listen to the people that you work for, sir. You told me that this proposal was brought to their attention, but you went and applied for it behind their backs. We don't want this.
Thank you so much. Can I have Raj Pillai is next on the agenda, and after that, Nonviolent Cities Project, and I get Doug Casper instead of Smart, as well as Ms. Joyce, Bill Rubark. So Raj is next on the podium. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you, first of all.
What about Jim? And what about Jim?
Harris and the rest of the township for giving me this opportunity.
Can you spell your name?
Last name is spelled Pillai. First name Raj, R-A-J.
Thank you, sir.
So yeah, I appreciate this opportunity. I'm a United States Navy veteran. I'm an immigrant myself. My family came over here. They waited for about 10 years to get in. But really, I digress that point. That's not really why I'm here. I wanted to mention that I represent the Will County Veterans Assistance Commission. And we have about, I'm not an elected official, but I'm selected by right about 30,000 veterans and their representatives in order to be in this position and lead our commission. The responsibilities of our commission are to help the veterans that live in the county in order to make sure they get help with disability claims, even food, different types of care that we can provide. But really, my point is not to give you an opinion, because I have to go have a commission meeting for that. My point here is to let you guys know how tough it is for our veterans in this county to get the care that they need. It's extremely difficult. We have a staff of 10 people. Our annual budget is slightly over $1 million. And with that, we try to take care of as many veterans as possible. Some have to wait weeks for an appointment in order to be seen because, that's the capacity that we have. And we're trying to do certain things to move forward in order to get that care for our veterans, but it is extremely difficult. And, if we're applying for grants, we have to go through a very, very rigorous process in order to even prove that that veteran, deserves this or is entitled to it or whatnot. So I just wanted to let everyone know here that government body does exist, and my goal as commission president, I'm a representative of not only the taxpayers, but also the 30,000 veterans in the county, and we're part of the county government in Will County. I do plan on calling a special meeting so we can discuss this with the commission and figure out how we're going to address any issues that are out there right now that affect our veterans. That's why I wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, Doug, and then Sarah Smart, and then Joyce and Bill Ruber.
All right, my name is Doug Casper, the chairperson for the Nonviolent City Project here in Joliet. Thank you very much for your call. I've been listening very intently, kind of hesitating to come up and try to speak because we'll be speaking kind of contrary to the opinion of most people, I think, that spoke. As the Nonviolent City Project chairperson and a resident of Joliet, I have what I call a house of hospitality, in the tradition of Dorothy Day and the Catholic Worker Movement. Over the last 10 or 12 years, I've taken in about 40 or 50 local homeless people and helped them get back on their feet. And lately, the last couple of years, I've gotten a lot of people seeking asylum in our country. All right, and I've taken in some 12 people over the last 12 years. People from Uganda, people from Egypt, people from Nicaragua, people from, lately, a lot from Venezuela.
Yeah.
Good people, all good experiences. People, I'm sorry to say, that are victims of our U.S. foreign policy. Yeah. So my message, to be pointed a little bit, is if we don't want migrants in our country, stop creating them.
Well, I wasn't going to read the statement because I'm afraid of so many hateful people out there. But I'm going to do it anyway because otherwise I wouldn't be able to live with myself.
Thank you.
Okay? So please be quiet. Thank you. As part of the Nonviolent City Project Joliet, I represent them. I also represent Pax Christi Seed Planters, Pax Christi Will, Pax Christi Illinois, Pax Christi USA, and Pax Christi International. I represent the Diocese of Joliet, and I represent concerned citizens. We are here today to congratulate and support the $8.6 million grant awarded to the Joliet Township. Can we have order, please? Keep continuing.
Joliet is not a sanctuary city.
Which will help with many migrants seeking asylum who are already legally here. We understand, and that's why we're here tonight among you. We understand what some of you are saying. The people that are saying, what about me? What about me? There is a lot of problems. Housing, poverty. Poverty is a weapon of mass destruction.
Angel, you,
violence,
the rest of y'all,
all of these things create many needs, and we believe the solution to these and any problems is listening, dialogue, and cooperation built on the foundation of mutual self-interest.
Who the hell told you that?
We hope sees all the alternatives.
First Amendment.
Yes. We hope. And hope sees all the alternatives. And we imagine the $8.6 million will benefit not only those fleeing violence and seeking asylum, a safe place where everyone everyone matters. But it will also benefit those Joliet residents who are fearful here tonight, that they're fearful that they will be left behind.
They're already left behind.
But this grant, as far as we understand it, maybe most of us, we don't know all the details.
No one knows. How much you getting?
But we do understand that they are hiring people and putting resources in Joliet that are to be used to build up the community, build up the groups that are already here, the centers that are already here, to help people feel safe.
Are you dead?
And to feel that they matter. No, I'm not done yet. Now shut up. By using the Peter Claver Center, I'm very, very proud of the work at the Peter Claver Center. And most people don't really understand because they don't listen or read or anything. The Peter Claver Center is to address violence prevention for all.
The Bible says
And building partnerships and support with Bill Grundy Medical Clinic and St. Joseph Medical Center and all the other places that they mentioned, and the other local safety net providers, the shelters, the welcome centers, food donors, legal assistance. The grant will also provide resources, money for new, good-paying jobs. It is. Thank you. Go ahead. We believe nonviolent city projects, the Catholic Church, and Pax Christi organizations, and all the peace organizations that we work with, we believe it's a win-win. Not to endorse it would be a lose-lose for the city of Joliet. And speaking from the Catholic Church and all the other faiths.
Please, nobody was interrupted. You have to let this woman speak. Thank you.
We know the importance of mutual listening and conversations in the Holy Spirit. Do not do unto others as you would have done to yourself. Where your treasure lies, there also is your heart. Fear not, because by helping others, you will find out that you will also be helping yourself.
Put them in your house.
All right, I'm almost done.
Put them in your house.
This is a board meeting. It's going to be respectful. Thank you.
Let us not be divided, for we know then we will all lose. Let's stand together as one voice and address the needs of all people. Those who have come to America to seek legal asylum, and those who already live here in our communities. For what happens to one of us happens to all of us. Thank
I speak to you as a granddaughter of immigrants. I appeal to you as a believer in Jesus, in God, who always made room for the stranger, the one who had no way to be involved in the democracy because of their situation. And so I also appreciate trying to get money to keep supporting the Spanish Center, the places where people come for health concerns, for housing. And I say thank you to those who are loving of all, because there are always people who are standing outside, who are gifted and can contribute to this community and bring peace. We need to have less violence in this community. If we take care of people's basic needs, we will have peace. Thank you.
And your name, ma'am, please? Your name,
I am Joyce Ruha.
Thank you, Ms. Joyce. Appreciate you.
A resident for almost 55 years.
Thank you. Is Mr. Bill? Are you Bill?
No.
Oh, one moment, please. Okay, next on the agenda, Chris Schmidt. Is Chris Schmidt here? Please take the microphone. Pastor Nona Parker is second. Jock Giacomi is third, and Liz Giacomi, and then Pat Smith. Can I have those 5 people at the podium? Make your way down, please.
I'll be
And
brief.
what is your name, sir?
Alex Guerrero, AAA Joliet. Just like you guys, I'm a resident of this community. I have been since I was 6. I mean, it's where I walked, ran, where I bled like a lot of you guys. Holds a special place in all of our hearts. That's why we're so emotional in this room right now. Why we drove down here to lend our voice of reason. That's what I tried to offer, but I think a lot of people, as a community, heard about all this information. We were all taken by surprise, very off guard. The more I've learned about this current situation with this grant being approved is, we were blindsided, and it seems like Supervisor Contreras, it seems like from all the information I've absorbed, it seems like none of your constituents in our city's government was aware of your application for this grant. And I don't think that's right, and it seems in this room, it seems very overwhelming majority that the citizens in this room that have elected you to represent our city don't seem to want this. It's overwhelming. What I don't understand is what your methodology behind it was for taking that approach. Secondly, I mean, there's a lot of other affluent cities in the Chicagoland area. I mean, why not Naperville? Why not? I understand. I'm from here. I know Joliet's a very working class city. We've got quite a long way to go with the citizens, social services, homelessness. I mean, heck, drive down Jefferson and Larkin. You go behind Pathways with intensity back there. That's just one. Second, if we can't lend the service to our current residents, what in good gracious would we think bringing all these people, no matter the several millions of dollars, that money's gonna end, and then that's gonna fall on the shoulders of us, the taxpayers. Because unless that grant keeps renewing, if you think about 501c3s, that's no guarantee. So I hope, like I said, I hope I just lend some information, but I think people were taken aback because people weren't aware. It just seemed like it was rather forced upon us, and that's not how democracy works. So I hope everybody all the best, with what transpires in the coming days, weeks, months ahead. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Is Chris here? Chris signed up to speak. Okay, Pastor Nona Parker.
Good evening. My name is Pastor Nona Parker. I am a lifelong resident of the city of Joliet, as well as a member of the clergy here in this city for 23 years. I shepherd a congregation here in Joliet that is multicultural. Now, I have multicultural staff, so for me, this is not a Hispanic issue. This is an issue of citizenship. That's what this is about. I personally wanted to come here today so that I could be very clear on my position on this particular issue of Joliet becoming a sanctuary city and why. I am completely opposed to this proposed designation, as well as furious over the underhanded, secretive manner in which this township and the township and everyone else involved has handled this proposal. My reason for the opposition is based upon first-hand experience of the problems and the destruction that our city will encounter if it chooses to open its doors to individuals that have entered our country illegally and are now given access to our city and its resources with no regard to the existing needs and problems plaguing the communities that you are targeting for relocation in these asylum-seeking cities. This is the thing. I grew up on the southeast side of Joliet. Everybody down there is an asylum seeker. We are seeking asylum from crime, from drugs, from gang activity, from homelessness. We have been asylum, and we have gotten no help whatsoever. And so if you are going to give money to the asylum seekers of this city, can my hand go up and I'll be first in line? And a resident on the city south side for 60 years. That lady that spoke right there is my daughter. You can tell that the apple didn't fall fried from the tree. The community that I grew up in and that you are putting illegal immigrants in is under assault, and we have been for years. We have been under assault for years, to drugs, to crime, to homelessness. We can't even own businesses in our own city, in our own community. I have had to fight to get a group of asylum seekers out of the very house that Kiana talked about. I had to fight to make that happen. And if you could just take a moment of your time to come down and look at the house that sits next door to mine, that I pay taxes for, that I keep clean and wholesome. If you look at what they have done to this property, the city has come and put an orange sticker on the property because of them. I need to know why it is that you all have applied for a grant and you have not even asked us. You've not considered us. You've not looked into what it would do to our communities. I want to know, of all of you that are sitting at this table, how many of these people are coming to your neighborhood? I need to know that. I'm almost done. Lastly, how can you justify using taxpayer dollars without public notice, without input from the people who live in this city and pay taxes, to purchase a property that will do us, the residents, no good? You're using the Peter Claver Center, which has been a staple in that community. You're using it to help people that don't even belong in our country. And we are yet sitting. That property sits at a sign that says City Gateway. You are letting people into our community that's going to desecrate our community. It is time for the people of this city, and I'm talking to everybody in this room, we cannot let this be a gripe session. We have to be willing to come together, citizens of this community. I don't care what color your skin is. We have to be willing to come together to do whatever we need to do to fully invoke our rights as tax-paying citizens of this city, this state, and this country, including any and all legal options. Did you all hear what I said? That is made available to us as citizens of this city. You all have overstepped, and we demand that our voices be heard and that you recognize that you work for us. I'm done.
The floor is yours, Mr. Giacomi.
I'm Jock Giacomi. I'm 73 years old. I was born in Joliet on Joliet Street. I lived on Eastern Avenue half my life. I'm a Vietnam veteran. Spent 2 years in that jungle. And now I got Agent Orange in my bladder, and Lyola's trying to keep me alive. But it ain't about me. It's about my wife and all you people here. I want to tell you people one thing now. The governor's the boss of this state. Remember that, people. He's the boss of the state.
We're the boss of the state.
I know we're the boss of the state, but if the governor wants to put 20,000 in that corner, Pritzker's going to do it. I didn't vote for that man, but Pritzker's the boss and he can do what he wants in this state. And if he wants to put 20,000 in that corner in Joliet, I think it's going to happen. And if he does, we all know what's going to happen to our city. It's already folded. We have crime every night here right now. Every night we have crime here and we can't get rid of it. And if you've seen the page yesterday about Venezuela, there's millions and millions of people in line just waiting to come over the border from Venezuela. And then they showed the movies of them yesterday, Patch did. There's no babies, there's no women, no children, it's all men, all men. And then they come up to the cameras with all these signs, we're coming from Venezuela to America. There's 18,000. Now, I don't know how many Biden, and he's running the whole country, I didn't vote for either. But anyway, Pritzker is wrecking this state. He started with Chicago, he's going to Joliet and Elgin next. He ain't going to send them to Springfield or the cornfields down there in southern Illinois. He's going to put them right here. And he's got the power to do it. So people, I hope we can fight him. The mayor's doing all he can to fight this yo-yo down there in Springfield. But I think we might lose. And if the people do come in here, people, your houses that were $1 million, $500,000, 100,000, they're going to be worth 20,000 because they can't leave them in the motels forever. They got to live out. And when they come out into their neighborhoods, and here they are, and our chief of police, I know he don't have the rap sheet on all these thousands of people. You don't know who's the rapper, who's the killer, who's the murderer.
Sir, can you address the board, please?
Okay, well, I want the people to hear it. So this is what we're up against. I know you guys turn it down, that's great, but here's the thing, my man. The people are going to come up, Angel, whether you like it or not, because Governor, he's going to do it on us. And when that happens, the city's going to fold, okay? And then we're going to be in for some big problems. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Can I have Liz Giacomi, please? Thank you.
Hi, Liz Giacomi. I ain't even gonna call the cops. Immigrants are people applying for citizenship legally, showing our country respect. These are people coming across our borders, expecting and demanding, showing zero respect for our citizens, our laws, and our country. As stated, the application was quickly submitted without all members of the city or township having knowledge of it being submitted. Where's the money coming from for the police, the firefighters, the hospitals, the schools, the grocery stores? It goes on and on and on, because we can't have enough police and firefighters and hospitals and nurses already as it is. According to the projected budget, we're already in the red as far as the thieves coming into our city. It appears that Joliet is under one ruler, and when did that happen? Joliet struggles with supporting the citizens it has now. There is no room for the influx of thieves that will be dumped here. You're not going to be able to stop it. It's too late. That's a joke. It was already stopped. If it won't stop, because, I'm sorry, I know. Because it already has been announced by Governor Pritzker that we're getting this. So what fool would apply to destroy their own city? Stop the grand process now!
The guy with the felony.
Pat Smith is next on the list. If Pat Smith is not here, I'd like to move on to Pat Smith and then Patricia McReynolds. You can make your way. Elizabeth Navarez and Larry, give me 1 second, let me call the rest of the votes. Larry A. Sean, if you could make your way down to the podium. Patricia McReynolds, Elizabeth Navarez, and Larry A. It looks like Shane. Okay, sorry. Okay, and your name, please, miss?
My name is Carolyn Coon.
Carolyn, your name wasn't called yet.
No, I know. I didn't write my name down.
I'm gonna let you speak, but you have to be be respectful and follow the rules. You can't just cut him out of the line. But go ahead and speak.
All I'm saying is,
Carolyn, what?
the first statement when we started this meeting, you had said that you all were available to contact, and that was not the case last week. I made numerous phone calls trying to reach out to each and every one of you sitting here right now, and even not noticing the tax assessor not being involved when such an important role takes figure for our population. So if you all are all available for conference right here, right now, what happens when we all walk out this door? Where are you then? And that's my final statement. So that's the scary thing that I'm afraid of, actually, is none of you were available last weekend for comments. Thank you.
Can you spell your last name, please?
No.
Next, Patricia McReynolds.
Who?
Patricia McReynolds, she's on her way now. Thank you. And then after that, I have Elizabeth Navarez and then Larry A. Shamer.
Hello, my name is Patricia McReynolds. I've lived in Joliet since 1978. I want to say thank you to the board for making this opportunity. If we continue to have hate in our world, that is what we're going to have. You know, when you give, you feel so much better than when you take from people. And I believe this is an opportunity. I taught children that were coming from Mexico, and some of them were so surprising. And to know that sometimes they were returned because they were deported. And I thought, we lost a bright mind because of hate. We have to stand up and be proud of who we are and help those who are less fortunate than ourselves. And I believe that Township has given us that opportunity. Thank you.
My name is Elizabeth Navarez. I've lived here since 1975. Immigrants that came here, just like many of us, more than I'm willing to admit. Okay? I saw a very sad face today because of being under attack. With that face was my daughter, who teaches 60 children that are not English speakers. They are victims of this situation. Okay? I remember being there at 11 years old, not speaking English. Joliet has taken pride in being diverse and formally serving immigrants since 1952. Neither the NOFO, which is the Notice of Funding Opportunity, or the application required a shelter. Okay? A lot of fear of the unknown because we are not well informed. Whoever put the press release is responsible for naming the wrong government entity. This is not another welcoming center for the state of Illinois. However, the Spanish Community Center became the 8th welcoming center when I was the executive director at the Spanish Community Center, and today there are 44 Illinois welcoming centers. For everybody's information, that is not the purpose of this grant. I want to ask everyone to educate yourself, please, and to please move forward so that we can work together, not against each other,
and we can continue to do our commitment to do a public service. This money is not gonna bring 15,000 people into the city of Joliet. This is a situation that exists now. In case you did not hear earlier, the Spanish Community Center helped 2,200 asylum seekers in the last year. What the Joliet Township government did was bring additional resources to assist with the work that we are already doing, that we have been doing since 1969 when the Spanish Community Center was incorporated. This is our families too, not just ours, it's all of your families. All of our families are immigrants. Don't forget that. Thank you.
Mr. John Darwin, Thomas Beijing, Tremaine Dean, Greg McGinnery, and Betty Wallach. So I think Mr. Leary Shaw's next.
Shaver, S-H-A-V-E-R.
Shaver.
Very simple, plain.
Hey,
okay, guys, there's been a lot of things said here tonight, and I don't want to reiterate and beat a dead horse. I'm a combat veteran Marine from Vietnam. I served, thank you guys, I served with Hispanic Marines who weren't citizens of this country, but came here the right way, legal way, joined the military, served their country, and died for their country, wanted to be their country, wanted to be part of this country, never got the opportunity, even though they did it legally. Yet we've got people standing out of our borders, waiting for years to come in here legally, and watching what's happening to our borders and saying, what's this all about? Why is this happening? Why is our politicians allowing this to happen? Should never happen. Should never happen. Now I'll get to the simple points. You mentioned, the board mentioned something about they didn't understand or know how many people was coming in, or that immigrants were coming in, or illegals, or whatever you want to call them. I read your grant, every page of it, every paragraph of it. I took 3 days to do it so I would make sure that I understood it. It specifically states numbers in there of how many people you expected to come in here. So the statement that was made earlier by the board was incorrect. Imagine that. What I'm going to address now is the veteran community in Will County. As Raj alluded to, over 30,000 veterans. We're the number 3 county in Illinois in population of veterans, followed only by Cook County, of course, number 1, and Lake County is number 2, Will County is number 3. We have veterans that come in to the Veterans Assistance Commission on a daily basis looking for help. They don't get all they need because we don't have the resources to do it. Yet we're willing to put all this money out there to help people that have not earned it. They haven't paid their dues, they haven't earned anything, but yet we're willing to give them everything.
That's right.
What about the veterans in this community, in this city, in this township, in this area that are homeless? What about the ones that can't pay their utilities? What about the ones that don't get dental care? Something that was mentioned in that grant that you would provide with this grant, this $8.5 million, you would provide dental care for these people. Do you realize that a United States veteran citizen of this country who offered his life for this country does not get dental care unless it's 100% service connected? If he's 90%, he don't get dental care. We don't take care of our own. Why are we going to take care of somebody else? Let's get the homeless veterans off the streets of Joliet. Let's get the homeless veterans off the streets in Bowling. And the other communities around here, Romeoville. Let's fix our own people first before we worry about fixing somebody that has no right to be fixed.
John Darwin, Thomas Jr., B-A-Y, I can't read out your name. And then Tremaine Dean, you can please begin in line. And then Greg McNary in line, and Betty Wallach is the fifth, the last one. So if you please begin in line. Sir, state your name.
My name is John David. Delta, Alpha, Victory, India, November. I'm a U.S. Army retired, and I want to thank all my veterans that served before me, here while I was in, those that served after me, and the future veterans. I want you all to focus on that American flag. I want all you board members to take a good look at it.
They don't know what side
They don't honor it.
The red was made redder by the veteran, his blood that was shed. The white is the purity of the tears shed by the loved ones back home. The blue is a field that was created by the tranquility of Almighty God. The stars represent each state, which forms a perfect union. We all signed a blank check, willing to give our lives for our country. Right. Now is the time to take care of veterans.
Yeah!
My name's Tremaine Dean. I want to shout out to all my elders out there that laid down the foundation, because I know there's not a lot of young people out here to speak up, so I'm going to be the first one to try to make my name drum around here. See, the one thing that I've seen with growing up in Joliet is that the lack of effort from the community to really push the kids. We don't have anything for the kids. And it's been said today that there is a lot of violence going on right now. You guys took the YMCAs away from us.
That's right.
There's nothing on the east side for these kids. Yet you guys are wasting your tax dollars. You got the police officers roaming over there and trying to help of some sort. But you guys aren't doing anything for the kids. See, I'm a leader of tomorrow. I'm here when you guys get old and when it starts to die down and it needs somebody to speak up. That's who I am. And the one thing I will say is you guys are not taking care of the leaders of tomorrow. You're not taking care of these kids. You're going to bring in more kids. Yes, they need our help, but you haven't taken care of the kids that are struggling right now. What about the kids that can't eat at high school? What about the kids whose parents don't have the money to feed them? What about the parents that can't even have daycare? There's no affordable daycare. They're struggling. Everybody's struggling. I'm tired of struggling. I'm not going to raise my daughter to struggle. There has to be some change here. You guys are doing nothing for the kids, and I'm infuriated. You know how many times I've tried to come to officials to try to set up nonprofits to help these kids to get turned down? I don't get nothing. They turn the door around. Maybe it's because of my dress. Maybe it's because of the color of my skin. But I don't care. At the end of the day, you guys have a job. You guys got voted in. I voted for you guys to get in office. And I expect you guys to do your job. Because otherwise, I'm going to go out and I'm going to advocate and we're going to have some changes around here. Because there's only so much that Mr. Darcy can do. He's given back to the community many years. From my whole childhood, I can remember. But if you guys are going to do your job, you guys need to get out. Because I'm not waiting around. There's no more time to wait around. I don't have another 4 years to wait for change. It's 8.6 million. How about you guys figure out how to get 8.6 million so we can make this community bigger and better for the rest of us, so we can get people to come back to Illinois. Everybody wants to leave. What are you guys making this community for us to want to stay here? No, we can't. We don't want to stay here. Taxes are high. We can't get away with nothing. We barely can afford groceries for the week. So what are you guys going to do to help us out? Especially me, I'm 26. That means that, I got some years to grow and figure out what needs to change. But it's your job right now because you guys wanted to be the leader. You wanted that position, now do something about it. Because I'm tired of y'all not doing nothing. My grandfather, he put his heart on the line to make sure this community was something more. And you guys have done nothing. You guys are wasting our time. Stop coming up with these lies. Come with truth. Speak to the people who care about the people. Otherwise, y'all not going to be able to sleep at night. Because these people going to be outside y'all house waiting on y'all to do something.
Betty Waltledge.
How many township meetings that guy went to?
I'm sorry, I'm going to cut line real quick. I stand here to represent most of the 150,000 wonderful people in this community that elected this leadership, the council and the mayor, to do the best we can for the community. And I ask you to withdraw this grant.
Mario Silva.
Mr. Silva, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Because it's an American cut line, I can cut line too, right?
Yes, sir.
First of all, I come in peace, in the spirit of my ancestors, in the spirit, and with the permission of the Creator. I'm born and raised here in Joliet, lived here most of my life, and I grew up in places like the Spanish Community Center. Since a small child. I went to CCD there, after school programs, summer school. I think I got my first job there. There's a lot of violence and trouble waiting for you at your doorstep coming up here in Joliet. And the Spanish Community Center was one of those places where you could go to have other options and have gateways to another way of life here in Joliet growing up. I don't like to portray myself as a victim, but I got shot as a child growing up here. I've never gangbanged a day in my life. Those are the kind of realities that wait for us here in the quote-unquote hood. So I applaud you guys for sticking your neck out to provide more resources for places like this. Because there's not a lot of help that these places are getting, and those places don't discriminate who comes to their doorstep for help. Working there, I volunteer at their food pantry, and there's all walks of life that come to the Spanish Community Center. Don't be misled by the name of the place. They don't just serve the Spanish-speaking community. They serve anybody and everybody.
Change the name to Community Center.
The name is the name. It is what it is, because there's a lot of Spanish-speaking people in our community. So once again, thank you for sticking your neck out and for offering and welcoming people that are coming here, that are already here. There's no magical mystery tour buses dropping off thousands of immigrants tomorrow. They're already here. And guess what? They're you and you, because none of you guys are from here. Unless you can claim Iroquois, Illini, Purapeche, Maya, Micheca. You are not from here. So we've all had our turns of being the unwelcome ones. So don't do that to the next one. Pay it forward. And as my Italian brothers say, we are all paisanos already. So let's open our hearts, and especially to religious folks that are up in arms right now. Like, be more Christ-like and show love. We are already here. We ain't going nowhere.
I apologize, I'm in trouble. Illegal line cutter tonight.
Your name, please?
It is Seth.
Last name Norcross. Listen,
Norcross?
yeah, I'm a veteran of 5 years, United States Marine Corps, 75. And I'm also a father, a born-again Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ to be my Lord and Savior. And I want to speak on just a deeper issue than it relates though. And I love this city. Joined the Marine Corps the day I turned 18. Went to Iraq, deployed, and I love this nation. But there's a deeper issue in our city, not just our city, but our nation. And I want to remind you that tonight that our supervisor, Angel Contreras, is an elected official. So what that means, these elected officials, they're a representation of us.
That's right.
And the last election, I believe there was a 20% or less show up. That's right. So that means there's people in this room who are angry about what is going on in our city, but they didn't even show up to vote. Hold on. Listen, I am a die-hard conservative. Listen, I'm a veteran. I don't even want $8 million for the veterans. I know there's some that need it, but the worst thing you can do to a man is give him something. Men need responsibility, right? There are veterans that need it to a degree. But listen, what we need in this city more than anything is Jesus Christ. But where that starts is humility. This is the first time I ever prayed for Supervisor Angel Contreras was this past week because God convicted me. You know the Bible calls us to pray for our leadership? And it wasn't a prayer, God strike them dead, but I'm praying for your soul, sir. And I'm sorry, forgive me for not praying for you in times past. And everybody up here, our city officials, our mayor, our governor, listen, we need Jesus Christ. But listen, the heart is the heart issue. Because listen, I'll make it real quick, I do a teen boot camp in the summer. I have teens that come through, we do it in North Carolina. Listen, teenagers from all over the place, from New York, all over this nation, they all come from broken homes, most of them. They come from ungodly situations where you hear about it. It is the sin issue in the heart of America and our people. And the only person that can heal this nation, this city, is Jesus Christ. Jesus did it for me. I was a young Marine. I was a drunk full of hatred and bitterness. Right? And we begin to look at our politicians as our gods and our saviors. Listen, they can't save us. Only Jesus can. And I would ask you to self-reflect in your own hearts. Yes, vote, be a part. But listen, just look at the Democratic platform. Abortions on demand. Right? Where was the moral outrage in our city 2 years ago when they flew the gay pride flag for the first time in our city? Listen, I don't hate the homosexuals. I don't hate LGBTQ. I love them. But you got to understand, God ordained marriage, not man. And so this is the problem, our moral outrage when it only fits our agenda. We need to come back to Jesus Christ. That's all I
have. Greg? McInnery? McNary? Betty? Is Betty here? Betty Walworth? Jen Jaworski? Shanika Stevenson? Oh, go ahead. You want to let him go first? Your turn. Okay, thank you.
My name is Trinita Stevenson, Trinita. And I teach boot camps during the spring and summer. And as a lifelong resident of Joliet, Illinois, it saddens me to see the amount of homeless people who are already overflowing the community. They stand in the doorways of our stores and restaurants, and I can say from personal experience, my granddaughter tells me that if her teacher is sick, the 30 students